When your cat follows you from the kitchen to the hallway to the bathroom, do you actually know what that means? Most owners think it's just hunger, boredom, or a cat being weird, but there's something deeper going on that almost no one talks about. Because when a cat keeps tracking your every move, they're not just reacting to the moment, they're telling you something about safety, routine, attention, and your place in their world. And by the end of this video, you'll never see that little shadow at your feet the same way again. 1. More than clingy, have you ever noticed your cat seems to relax the second they find you, even if they were wandering around just fine a moment ago? Most people assume it means their cat is needy. Here's what's actually happening. A well-known 2019 Oregon State study found that many cats showed secure attachment patterns with their caregivers in a secure base test, using the human as a source of comfort in a new environment. More recent research has pushed back on whether cats rely on owners in the same dog-like way, which tells us something important. Cat attachment is real, but it's more subtle, more independent, and more feline than most people expect. So when your cat follows you, it may not be clinginess in the dramatic sense. It may be proximity to the person who helps the world feel familiar. Here's why this matters. Your cat may not be trailing you because they're desperate for attention. They may be staying near the person who makes the house feel stable. That changes the whole feeling of the behavior. It stops looking annoying and starts looking trusting. And there's one more layer to this that most owners completely miss. We'll get to that at the end. So the next time your cat appears behind you again, don't read clingy. Read you're part of my safe zone. 2. They track your location. Have you ever noticed your cat somehow appears in the next room before you even call them? Like they were already keeping tabs on where you went. Most people assume cats are just wandering around and happen to bump into us. Here's what's actually happening. In a 2021 PLOS ONE study, cats showed surprise when they heard their owner's voice seem to jump to an unexpected location, suggesting they mentally map where their owner is, even when they can't see them. In other words, your cat may not just hear you, they may keep an internal sense of where you are in the home. That means following behavior isn't always impulsive. Sometimes it's the visible part of a quiet tracking system already running in the background. Here's why this matters. When your cat rounds the corner right after you do, that's not always random timing. It can be a sign that you matter enough to monitor. In cat language, attention is expensive. They don't spend it on everything. Your cat isn't acting like a tiny detective for nothing. You're on the map. 3. You are the routine. Have you ever noticed your cat follows you most at certain times? When you wake up, head toward the kitchen, open a closet, or start your bedtime routine. Most people assume it's just food obsession. Here's what's actually happening. Cats are fast learners, and they lean hard on predictability. International Cat Care says routine and predictability reduce distress and improve quality of life, and VCA notes that cats are creatures of habit when it comes to feeding schedules. So your footsteps, your timing, even the way you move through the house can become part of your cat's daily clock. They may follow you because you're not just a person in the home. You're a signal that something known is about to happen. Food, play, cuddling, a window opening, lights dimming, bed. Here's why this matters. Sometimes your cat isn't asking for something new. They're checking that the world is still unfolding the way it's supposed to. And if you've ever had a cat follow you with complete confidence at the exact same hour every day, that's not manipulation. That's pattern recognition, wrapped in fur. To your cat, you're not interrupting their routine. A lot of the time, you are the routine. And if this is making you think differently about your cat, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps us reach more cat owners who want to understand what their cat is really saying. 4. They read your mood. Have you ever noticed your cat follows you more when you're upset, stressed, sick, or when something unfamiliar is happening in the house? Most people assume cats don't really care how we feel. Here's what's actually happening. In a study on social referencing, researchers found that cats use emotional information from their owners to guide how they respond to something unfamiliar. Other work shows cats form mental representations linked to their owner's voice and can use human social cues in surprisingly specific ways. So when your cat shadows you during tense moments, they may be doing more than seeking comfort. They may be reading you to figure out how they should feel about the situation too. Here's why this matters. Your cat may not process your emotions the way a human friend would, but your behavior still changes their behavior. Your tone, speed, tension, and attention all become information. That means following you can be part of how they regulate themselves when the emotional weather in the house changes. They're not just watching the room, they're watching your version of the room. 5. Cat-style companionship. Have you ever noticed your cat follows you everywhere, but once they catch up, they don't always want to be picked up or even touched? They just stay nearby. Most people assume that means the behavior doesn't count. Here's what's actually happening. A 2017 +1 study found that after a longer separation, cats purred more and stretched more when their owners returned, which the researchers interpreted as a rebound in contact-seeking behavior. That matters because it shows social connection in cats doesn't always look dramatic. It can be quiet. It can be staying close, greeting lightly, then simply existing in the same space. For many cats, companionship is not constant cuddling, it's controlled proximity. Here's why this matters. A cat who follows you and then settles 2 feet away may still be choosing you. That choice is easy to miss, because it doesn't look like the kind of affection humans usually expect. But for a cat, staying near without demanding anything can be a very clear social gesture. Sometimes love looks like a lap cat. Sometimes it looks like a furry roommate who just wants you within range. 6. Your attention matters. Have you ever noticed your cat follows you more when you're clearly engaged with them, talking to them, looking at them, or moving in a way that seems inviting? Most people assume cats don't care whether we're mentally present, as long as we're physically there. Here's what's actually happening. Research on cat sociability found that human attentional state affects cat behavior, with cats spending significantly more time in proximity to an attentive human. A broader review of cat-human interaction also notes that who initiates interaction influences how long those interactions last. So your cat may follow you not just because you exist in the house, but because they've learned when you are socially available. They're reading the difference between busy human and reachable human. Here's why this matters. That means following can be a question as much as a statement. Are you available? Is this a good moment? Can we do our little ritual right now? When owners miss that, they sometimes label the cat as demanding. But often the cat is doing something more social than that. They're checking the door before they knock. Your cat may be independent, but they still care whether you're open for connection. 7. What if it stops? So have you ever noticed your cat used to follow you constantly, and then one day they just don't? Most people assume maybe the cat grew out of it, or got less affectionate. Here's what's actually happening. Remember earlier when I said there was something most owners miss? This is it. A sudden change in a familiar behavior pattern can matter more than the behavior itself. VCA warns that sick cats often show changes in sociability, energy, appetite, grooming, litter box use, and overall behavior. Some become withdrawn and hide, while others become clingier than usual. So if your cat has always followed you and suddenly stops, don't panic, but don't shrug it off either. Watch for other changes alongside it. Less appetite, more hiding, poor grooming, trouble jumping, different litter box habits, or unusual restlessness. Here's why this matters. A cat's routine behaviors are part of their baseline. When that baseline shifts, your cat may be telling you something with the only language they have. Not every change means illness. Stress, aging, household changes, or pain can also alter behavior. But if the shift is sudden, persistent, or comes with other signs, that's the moment to call your vet and describe what changed. The behavior itself is sweet. The change in the behavior can be important. When your cat follows you from the kitchen to the hallway to the bathroom, do you actually know what that means? Now you do. It can mean you're part of their routine. It can mean they're tracking your location, reading your mood, or choosing quiet companionship on their own terms. And sometimes, the most important message is not that they follow you, it's that a sudden change in that pattern may be worth noticing. That little shadow at your feet was never random to them, and now you know it shouldn't feel random to you either.